Welcome back. I help faith-driven women break cycles, find clarity, and step boldly into their calling. If that's what you've been searching for, you're in the right place. Let's get into today's
to welcome you to today's video. Here we go. I pray that your day is going very, very well. I'm not going to just take up much of your time, but I do want to share um, just a few nuggets with us for today. In Matthew chapter 25, talks about the parable of the talents. And here the master gives three servants money to steward while he's away. Now, two of them invest it, they take the risk, they multiply it, but one of them buries it and he plays it safe. And he returns exactly what was given to him. And when the master returns, he's furious, not with the ones who took the risk, but with the one who played it safe, because God doesn't just want you to manage what He gave you, He wants you to multiply it. So today we're talking about how to multiply what God put in you, which is your gifts, your calling, your resources, and your influence. Because you aren't given those things to hoard, you were given them to multiply. So here's what I see: women who are gifted, they're talented, they are called, they're anointed, but they're not multiplying it. What are they doing? They're keeping their gifts to themselves, they're playing it safe, staying small, and avoiding all of the risk. And they justify it by saying, well, I'm just being humble, or I don't want to be prideful, or even I'm waiting for God to open the door. But that's not humility, that's fear. And it's costing you and the people who need what you carry. Because the truth of the matter is, every gift you bury is a life you're not impacting. Every resource you hoard is provision that someone else isn't receiving. Every message you silence is transformation someone else isn't experiencing. And God didn't give you gifts to hide them, He gave them to you to multiply them. So let's get into, I always share a framework with us every time that we come together. So I want to give you this framework for multiplying what God put in you, and I call it the multiplication strategy. So step number one is you want to identify what you've been given. You can't multiply what you don't even acknowledge. So I want you to ask yourself, what has God given me specifically? Maybe it's a gift for teaching or a platform, even if it's small. Maybe it's a story of redemption. It could be financial resources or your time and capacity. What about your connections and your relationships? He could have given you a message that transforms lives. Whatever it is that He has given you, I want you to write it down and name it. Because what you've been given, it's not random, it's intentional. Now, step number two is invest it. Don't bury it. In the parable, the servant who buried his talent said, I was afraid, so I hid it. And let me tell you, fear is the number one reason people don't multiply what they've been given. Why is that? It's because they're afraid of failure, they're afraid of criticism, they're afraid of rejection, they're afraid of looking foolish, they're afraid of losing what they have. So they bury it and they play it safe and they wait and they wait and they wait. But here's what Jesus says: He called him a wicked, lazy servant. That's Matthew 25:26. He called him wicked, not because he failed, but because he didn't try. So ask yourself, Am I investing what God gave me, or am I burying it? Right? The next step is that you have to trust God with the results. And that's the hard part. The hard part is that you're responsible for the investment, but God's responsible for the return. So you can't control who responds, how fast it grows, whether people appreciate it. You can't control that. But let me tell you what you can control. You can control whether you obey, whether you invest, whether you multiply. So do your part and trust God with the rest. Trust God with the rest. You want to, the next step is to multiply. You have to give it away generously. And here is the counterintuitive part is you multiply by giving, not by hoarding. The servants who multiplied their talents didn't keep them in a safe vault. They risked them. So how do you multiply what God gave you? You multiply it by using it. So if God gave you a gift for teaching, teach. If He gave you a platform, use it. If He gave you a message, share it. If He gave you financial resources, invest them. If He gave you time, steward it well. If He gave you relationships, leverage them for kingdom impact. Listen, the more you give, the more God multiplies. That's coming from Luke chapter 6, verse 38. It says, give, and it will be given to you a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Notice it says a good measure. It's good because it didn't even come from you. It's good because it came from God, right? And so we have no reason to hoard. There's no reason for us to hoard anything. Now, let's get into our implementation. So, this is your homework. Step number 1 is to identify what has God given you that you've been burying. Write it down and name it specifically. Step number 2 is invest. What's one way you can invest that gift this week? Just one way. Maybe it's teaching a workshop. It could be posting content, starting the business. It could be writing the book or launching the ministry. It could be having the conversation. One action this week. Step number 3 is to multiply. Who can you give it to? Because listen, multiplication happens when you teach someone else. When you share your resources, when you are investing in someone's growth, when you are using your platform for someone else's message, listen, give it away generously. Just like I'm showing up here and doing this. I've been on this 50-day journey, and we're about to wrap it up. But I have been giving away generously. Why? Because of step number 4 is trust. When you release the results to God, you did your part. Now let Him do His. Let God do His part. So, in my closing, here's the bottom line: you weren't giving gifts to bury them, you were giving gifts to multiply them. And the more you give, the more God multiplies. So, what are you burying? And more importantly, what would happen if you invested it instead? So, listen, if you want support multiplying what God gave you, number 1, join the Rebuild and Rise Hub on school. The link's going to be below. This is where we're multiplying our impact together. Number 2 is to take the AI plus business readiness quiz. Let's multiply your time by automating the tasks that drain you. Step number 3, book a free AI plus business audit. Every month, it's the beginning of a month. Every month, there are 10 spots where we do it for free. We lay out the strategy for you. Listen, let's build systems that multiply your impact instead of limiting it. Number 4, you can apply for the beta cohort for our repurpose hub. Listen, this is your content ecosystem. So whether you are a ministry leader, whether you are an organization, if you are a content creator, if you are an entrepreneur, listen, you want to get in on this. Only 10 spots are available. Listen, it's time for you to multiply your content, multiply your reach, and multiply your impact. This is day 46 of 50. Next week, we're going to finish strong with the final 4 days. But for now, go multiply what God put in you. I see you on tomorrow. Blessings.
If today's message spoke to you, don't stay stuck another year. Book a call with me today. The link is in the description. And before you go, keep watching by clicking the next video on your screen. I'll see you there.